you can't grow up in Ontario and not have like a piece of your heart for Alexis on Fire.
Yeah.
You just can't. It's like
Yeah.
it's like the three most Ontario core things in existence in order are Neil Young, Belmont cigarettes, and Alexis on Fire. It's and the combination of the three is like is a good weekend, brother. It is a killer weekend. Like,
Neil Young came out, and then they invented Belmont cigarettes.
yeah.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 13 of TTK. We got the podcast here on theScore Esports. My name is Seb, and along with me are the lads. We're back.
Hello.
Devin, Dimitri, Devin, you were off last week. What'd you do? Go.
Stop saying I was off last week.
I was always fucking off last week,
It was
brother.
3 days.
Stop being off last week.
I worked, and it wasn't even the end of the week, too. It was the beginning of the week.
Yeah,
it was fine.
well,
I went
Your absent was noted.
went up north to the reserve. It was a good time. Had a pleasant
How many
experience.
darts?
0. I brought a vape with me. Sorry. Sorry.
That's a little cringe.
I know. I know.
Like,
I know. Well, it was like it was either you buy a carton
well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
or nothing else.
bro,
so.
18-year-old me used to fucking clean up, dude.
BBs all day.
Oh,
But yeah, it was nice. The weather held out for one day. I got burnt to shit because I went out on a boat, and I found out because if you like have a cottage on a reserve, you lease the land, but you own your specific like material for your property, but you lease the land from the First Nations, like whoever is there. And one guy apparently 1 year went out onto the lake of a bunch of different like reserves and just planted rice, like in the lakes. And now there's just rice fields in the lakes. And they're like, we have no idea if he farms it. Like, we don't know. He was like, it was all over the news like 5 years ago, and now there's just rice fields everywhere in Ontario, and we just don't know if he's like. We're like, yeah, fair enough, man. Your land, you can do whatever you want. We have no clue if he actually farms it.
Is that like, can that be considered like if he doesn't pick it up, can that be considered like eco-terrorism?
I don't think so because it's their land. They can do whatever they want to it.
Oh.
So like he just did it, and then. But they assume, but he like so much of it grew that they're like, holy shit, that's like a lot. Like, you would actually need like a company to come in and like. Yeah.
Dimitri, how you feeling, bud? You're still holding down the line here, but how was your weekend, buddy?
mine was good.
Yeah.
It was chill. I didn't really do a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were feeling the temptation of going to Oasis.
I was.
That's true.
I checked tickets on Friday and decided I was not going to go. Not because of the price. Price was not terrible. But I decided I was not going to go because I did not want to get caught in the rain and then in that horrid stadium. And then everyone got caught in the rain in that horrid stadium.
Yeah.
Which, again, some people said was a vibe, which I appreciate.
I'm sure.
But
yeah.
I'm sure it was a vibe for about 3.5 songs and then very quickly turned into, I really wish I wasn't
I'm
here.
sure getting a shit on by a bird is a vibe too.
Yeah.
That's why they say it's good luck.
Yeah.
Shout out Standing. No, I'm sure listening to Wonderwall in the rain would be, like, you think the people who listen to like Iris, like in the rain,
Yeah.
Like they love that.
Yeah, but did they think that they knew at the time they would? First off, they were probably annihilated.
Yeah.
And do you think they knew how good it was? I doubt it sounded that good than the actual like recording that we ended up seeing years later.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I did get some extra passes for Fan Expo. If you did want to come, we had some that were kind of like floating around, so I should have texted you. I was at Fan Expo all weekend. To those of you who were paying attention, we had a esports stage at Fan Expo. It was basically a stage where we had Call of Duty tournament, Valorant tournament.
Not us.
No, I did.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
No, yeah, like I was casting and hosting.
Yes.
That's what I do.
But it wasn't with the score.
But it was not with the score.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry.
That's why I was
Yes.
just confused.
To clear, this
like,
was
did we
a
have-
separate activity. So it was like Call of Duty, Valorant, and Rocket League was the last one. The trophies were like WWE style belts.
Oh, that's funny.
Cool.
It was kind of sweet. All the players got one.
Was it a medallion that you put into a hydraulic press?
No.
Oh.
And you have to like watch it like very slowly as the hydraulic press goes
So
down.
epic.
Yeah, it was not
so
that.
Epic bacon.
But I think belts are cool as shit.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah. They just go like really hard. Rocket League went awesome. It went Champions Field. Game 7 overtime for like 10,000. No, the prize pool was like $23,000.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks, man. And the winning team got 10 grand, and it was a team full of Europeans. So it's
Damn.
cool. Yeah, Europeans run shit. It's depressing. You know, I can't.
Oh,
get away
in
from
Rocket
it.
League, they're like
They run shit. Yeah.
yoted.
Yeah, it's like CS. They're fucking insane.
Yeah. Except the event was like specifically for Canadians,
Yeah.
right? So it was like the rule was you had to have 2 Canadians on the team and 1 American, and the one exception was student visas. And so these Europeans play for a college,
Oh, that's tough.
and
That's
so
funny.
they are hit on a student visa. So they just like, you know, they didn't clap it. Like it was still competitive, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was like you had an
respect
Italian,
it.
a German, and an Englishman just take home the trophy and the fat stacks.
Like, man, you
So-
gotta get paid. I respect it.
in Rocket League, it's not much going around, you know. But
Doesn't it happen with, like what I saw? Like, bunch of teams, like real teams, are like fucking sandbagging Launders Land. Didn't I see? Didn't I
oh,
see this? No,
wait,
because it's like,
like the most
because
recent
because for the Valve points now or something.
Oh.
I swear.
yeah, no, I do remember hearing that.
Yeah. Because like you can actually, it's like not about the money. It's about like you can literally get like whatever like VRS
VLO
points now,
yeah.
and so
Oh.
they're like think yeah.
Well, it's all fucked up now. Liquid might not even make it to the major.
I mean,
Well-
right now they don't deserve to make
Yeah,
it.
that is
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
But they might. They legit do not qualify right now.
There is a lot of teams that aren't going to be at the major, but we're going to get into that briefly. Just going over some of the topics that we have here. You know, we're going to be talking about Elige. We're going to be talking about complexity. Going to be talking about LANs and what happened to them. A lot of CS stuff happened in the news over the past week, and we're going to be talking about it over the past, a little bit, as well as a bit of Battlefield stuff, because apparently they're making a
not
balance
over yet.
change,
not
and
over
a
yet.
bunch of people are angry, as pointed to on Reddit. So, before we get into this, did you guys go to LAN cafes when you were younger?
Fuck yeah.
Right? You know, like just these places where you could just go in and play games.
Every
you pay
day.
for like an hour and just do whatever on a computer for basically hours and hours.
$7, and you get 3 hours and a cup noodle.
Oh yeah. But
Was the deal at the one up the street from me?
there, I think to this day, the reason that even when I go to a real ramen bar, I have to have a Coke with it is because of the years I spent playing 1.6 when I
Yeah.
was 11,
Yeah.
getting a cup of noodle and a fucking Coke. It's
So-
like,
So the question with this, and I'll introduce the topic properly for our audience, because we're old as shit, and so we have this experience. But let me go through. So what happened to LANs? In the 1990s, some of the first internet cafes opened up in the UK and subsequently around the world, providing users with access to the internet in a way most weren't able to before. Since then, the internet transitioned from neat novelty to ubiquitous commodity the world over, forcing internet cafes to pivot their business model. Around the mid-2000s, they were able to do so by introducing the gaming cafe. With gaming cafes and the introduction of competitive games in those spaces, the LAN was born. LANs and LAN cafes used to be an integral part of esports culture. Everyone would come in, pay some money for an hour or two on the PC, get some food and drink, and just game for endless hours. From there, you built up communities of close friends, all built on mutual respect, admiration, and competitiveness, all for a common game. In my favorite cafe when I grew up, it was a place called LAN Station, where literally everyone played CS Source. We all had inside jokes because, of course, I was like 10 and shit at the game, but we all had fun. We had all-nighters where we could play from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. and run tournaments that were 4v4. The same is true for console games as well. Believe it or not, consoles didn't always have internet, so it forced people to come and hang out at either a gaming cafe or at each other's houses, where you would hook each other's consoles up to each other in what is known as local area networks. These were the foundations of what would become esports. DreamHack, who most of you know today as an event for gaming culture and esports, was built entirely on this concept. A place known for BYOC, bring your own computer, letting everyone bring their PCs to a giant warehouse with the sole purpose of gaming throughout the night and celebrating gaming culture. Some of my earliest gaming memories were built in this business concept. Since then, that business in the West has all but died. Over here, everyone is content to simply play at home, and especially with the advent of COVID, this has led to some gaming experiences that, while more interconnected than ever, arguably feel more disconnected than ever. The only place where gaming cafes seem to be somewhat stable is, of course, Asia, where the gaming cafe took off to an unbelievable level and in a way has contributed to their dominance in many different esports. But as far as where we are in the West, there are fewer and fewer places able to make this business model work. Why is this?
Can I just say, do you feel like we are in high school right now and we are giving a presentation? And Seb just gave.
That did feel a little bit like that.
Like the teacher is like sitting there, and we're like standing in front of the class right now, and Seb is like reading off his paper thing.
The projector's
the
just
projector's
shining
like
in
in your
face.
face, and you're standing there like.
Okay, listen. In post, this is going to be completely covered with B-roll. Okay, so it's a package. It's gonna be nice music and blah blah. Getting people into it. So
that sounds good. I'm sure you'll get a good grade, honestly.
well, I hope so.
Yeah, I think it's like a symptom of like a larger thing, right? Like it doesn't make sense. Like they're just not practical, right? Whereas like, and for me, when I used them, they weren't practical. I had a computer at the time that could run not console games, but Half-Life games basically.
Yeah.
And anything like that. Like, excuse me, that was basically the best that I could run. But I had a computer at my house that I could play those games at. And I still went to the internet cafe because my friends couldn't, because they didn't have computers. So I'd go there to play with them because it was more fun than like, I could still join their servers and like play with them because that's what we would do sometimes. Like we would do like 1v1 sometimes, but like a lot of the time we'd just be like, oh, let's join this server, and we would just join the server together, which I could have done from home and still communicated with them over voice chat. But I just decided to go in because it was just more fun that way. And I think that is the sole reason they don't exist anymore, is because it's not necessary. They're more fun, but they're just not needed. And I don't think the nostalgia is that powerful for people to like actually take out like property, because you need a space to do it, right?
Yeah.
So you need to pay for that, and then that's not necessarily going to be a sure thing. It's the same thing as like what everyone wants like Blockbuster to come back, and they want that like old experience to come back where you go and you rent a movie and you go home. And while that's a nice idea, someone needs to buy the property and create a video store, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the issue, is that it's so expensive to lease a property to run these things in, that it's just no one wants to take that risk, even though people might actually be yearning to go back to that experience.
I think it's interesting because like I came back from Japan last year, and it is also one of those places where gaming cafes in general are still so vibrant, where like you have people who literally live in them, like these places where they're like in these little cubicles and they just go somewhere to shower, they come in, they play their games, and they just sleep there, and because it's cheap enough that you can do that. When I grew up in gaming cafes, I lived in a town of like 20-something thousand people, shout out to Kingsville, and even though people did have computers, like we had internet and all this stuff, yes, it was like DSL internet, which sucked so much ass. We still had a place where we could go down to play games. Right? It was literally in the town square. And the whole point of it was that it kind of was a point for our youth to be able to come in and actually have a community spot to ourselves, because we were basically in a retirement hometown. This place eventually became a spot where, you had tournaments that were being run. You had a lot of teenagers who didn't really have a place to go, able to come to these places. And I feel that now that is more replicable than ever, just because like I'm looking at the amount of kids that we have who are disillusioned from, I guess, COVID. Like they're just straight up socially stunted. Like they can't do much like on their own, and they're struggling to make friends. They're struggling to communicate. Like this concept, while maybe the business model needs to be tweaked to be more profitable, feels like it's more needed now than ever.
No, for sure. And but you could say the same thing, like on top of me going to internet cafes, like 4 or 5 times a week, I would go to the community center every day.
Yeah.
Every day, like during the summer, I would go every single day to the community center. You pay $1, you go in, and you just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like there's just basically teenagers watching over you to make sure you don't kill each other. And they're like, yeah, you want to play ball hockey? Go play ball hockey. You want to play basketball? Go that. Like we have random PlayStation here with Gran Turismo, you can do that. Like, you can do whatever you want. And I would do that every day. And it's like, obviously, like, it gets talked to death at this point, the existence of, like, or the lack of third places or whatever, and how
Can you just for the people who like don't know, can you explain like that
so
concept?
the first place is your home, the second place is your place of work, and then the third place is supposed to be something else,
Or school, like if you're younger.
or school if you're younger, and then the third place is supposed to be a place that isn't connected to work or your home, that that anyone from the community can go to and just exist and bond and talk and create community. And how after COVID and even leading up to COVID, those places sort of started to disappear, aka internet cafes, community centers, local restaurants that had cheap food,
Cafes.
cafes,
Cafes,
yeah,
most notably.
and obviously those things all exist, but they're now too expensive and to be seen as a place where you can just hang out and maybe just get a coffee or maybe get nothing, because realistically you need to now pay something, because once again the people that own that property or leasing that property are paying so much that they need the money.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you can't just go and be like, hey, guys, you'll still see some of those places in Toronto, especially in, like, Little Portugal and Little Jamaica. You'll see these, like, places that are hanging on where, like, they're, like, truly, like, dive bars. Like, there's a pool table and, like, a bunch of TVs. And they're there all the time just having coffee, having a beer, watching whatever sport. And those places still do exist, but it is basically non-existent for young people.
Yeah.
And eventually those places are going to disappear because young people don't know what those are.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I think people like gets missed when you talk about LAN cafes, right? Like it was when we were kids. Yeah, there was this element of like if you didn't have a PC that like could run games really well, and you just go and use the one of the like that's part of it. But like it wasn't that my PC couldn't run fucking 1.6 in like 2005. Like of course it could, right? It's that like it was a social space. Like school's over, you hop on the subway, you go like north for me because I grew up in the city, like up to Midtown, and then like you get off, you go get like a burger, you go to the internet cafe, and like you buy yourself 3 hours. You guys sit down, you bring 6 people, 8 people, 4v4 Counter-Strike custom lobby, right? And like you fucking yell at each other over the computers, and you fucking go and get, cup of noodles, and you hang. And it was just like so. It wasn't that like we couldn't do it from home, although I admit it was different. Like there was no like matchmaking, you know what I mean, in 2004 in games. But like it was the fact that like it was just a place to be with your friends. I honestly, we were talking about this the other day, right, over drinks. I honestly still think there is a space for it. I think like I grew up. I was telling Seth this. I grew up playing All Stars when I was a little older, right? This would have been like 2010, playing Dota All Stars at a LAN cafe in North York, and like I would go with my friends, and like we would, and because it was near Pacific Mall, right? There was a huge player base of people who would like come play Dota specifically. This is pre-League of Legends, right? And it was really cool because like the thing about Dota All-Stars is like because it was a mod, there literally was no matchmaking. So like if people who didn't play All-Stars won't appreciate this, when you would load into a lobby, you'd literally like have to say in all chat because there's no penalty for leaving.
Yeah.
Like please stay for the full game.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Because like you could just dip if you just if you got annoyed that you died 3 times, you could just be like fuck this and leave the game, and it would just leave everybody else hanging because now it's right. So there was this element of convenience of like you could go into the cafe and always ensure that there would be a group of people to play with that were good at the game, cared about the game, and it would be a high quality lobby. I'm going to be honest. I think it's come back around. Premier and Face It are so fucking horrible that I would love to like take 2-3 hours out of a Saturday and like, or like a Thursday night, if there was a place I could go and I could sit down and be like, we got 10 people here who are all in and around the same skill level. Like we make whatever. We're going to play a few pugs together. It's going to be cool. It's going to be fun. There's going to be comms. There's going to be whatever. Like that to me, and probably to a lot of other people, sounds pretty good. Yeah. That sounds pretty fun. I would pay money for that.
While you're doing it, one guy is printing off his resume
Oh fuck yeah.
and then another guy's just watching porn,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Dude,
okay,
the
sick.
number of times I would walk by some I was like 12, literally 12, and I'd be walking some guy's computer, and he'd be like huddled over the screen, like looking like this to make sure nobody gets. And I would look at the screen and be like, "That's full-on pornography. That is hardcore pornography at 11 a.m. on a Sunday, sir." And I'm 11. I'm just walking by this computer to go get a fucking cup of noodle.
You know what's funny is like when I grew up, because I grew up in foster care, and so it was very big no to like stay out of the house overnight, like lots of rules. And so this cafe that I would go to, because there was like everyone from the town would kind of come to it, we had all-nighters. And so it would be from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. You would pay $20 for a console or $25 for a PC, and you would just run it all fucking night. Like Halo 3 for console, basically, because that's what everyone did. So you would just run LANs all night. And then for Source, you would just run it all night. And my mom, basically, she would have to go and like talk to the owner and be like, "Listen, he's not typically allowed to do this. Please don't let him leave. This is definitely illegal, like for me to let him do this, but just please let him stay." And then they were totally cool. They're like, "Fine, we'll babysit." And I was like 10 at the time, and I was the biggest piece of shit because I was just like, I sucked at the game, so I would rage all the time. But that one time I got a fucking one tap on the best player in the server. Oh my god!
Carry that with you for life, bro.
But I know we even have spots in Toronto that
there's still one on
Young.
There's a couple.
Is the one with the League of Legends print vinyl on the outside? Is that one still open on Bloor and Bathurst?
Yep.
There's also one up in North York on York Mills, just east of Young.
Yeah,
that's still there.
Invictus Games is still open, which is on Young Street. So they run events and stuff.
I've thought for the longest time about fucking going to one of those, like right now, like in 2025, and being like, see what the scene is like on a Saturday if people are playing like League 10-mans, because that's the appeal for me. The appeal for me is like, it's like going to like, for Canadians this will mean something to us, but like it's like playing shinny on Saturdays. They're like, it's a vibe. Like there are serious hockey players who go play shinny on a Saturday because it's
something to do.
It's something to do.
Yeah.
It's a vibe. It's friendly. It's fun. You get out, right? Like who the fuck? And maybe I'm just over 30 now and I'm jaded on ranked and I don't. But like, who the fuck wants to spend your Saturday sitting around trying to fucking cobble together smokes and mollies in a FaZe lobby? Like, why would I want to do that? It's awful, right? Like,
I've legitimately sat down because I just had nothing to do in the weekend, and I'm like depressed as shit because I'm like, am I just gonna play pugs like all night, like alone in my apartment?
I just stopped.
Like that's so lame. Like
so lame.
I'm not an extrovert by any means, but I'm like, if I'm gonna do that, I'd rather be doing it with people than I can just like grab a drink with and just like have a good time in person.
Yeah.
I still have memories of the games I played, like when I was 18. Right, like the high quality Dota match, like in All Star, like Dota matches where like you'd have really intense mid matchups, great games, people calming. Like it was just so like it was fun, but it was also like I went alone or with like one or two people a lot of the times. Like it wasn't a thing where it was like 10 friends and we were all like in house. Like we a lot of the time you just go and you just show up and you just see who's there.
Yeah, and
you just play, right? And like I just miss that a lot. And I think that there is, as long as it's a space that's in like, a downtown area, high traffic, whatever.
Yeah.
Like somewhere where the reason the one beside Pacific Mall was such a good idea is because like there was just so many people there anyway.
Yeah.
That you could just walk across the street, right?
Yeah.
And I would fuck with it. And I don't think that it's some boomer thing. I really don't. I don't think it's a boomer thing.
Think it works.
I legitimately think there are 17-year-olds out there who would be like, as if they experienced that social space for the first time, they would be genuinely hooked. They would be like, this is really fun.
What's also interesting, too, is yours was close to Pacific Mall, predominantly Asian demographic. The one by me, predominantly Asian demographic. It was an Asian grocery store was what it was attached to. So I feel like it's still just, the connection to where it basically not necessarily started, but really popped off in Asia. It's just still there, right?
And it
was a pseudo PC bang, and like there was a lot of times where, or like it was actually less. It was less Korean, more Chinese player base.
Yeah.
But like I will say, like there was a lot of times like where I would be playing and they would all just be calming in Mandarin, and I would legitimately like it's Dota, so the comms don't matter as much. But I'm just kind of like trying to piece together like what we're about to do. Like
you hear SB, and you're like, okay, I think Spirit Breaker, I assume.
Yeah.
Crazy thing. Side note about that fucking mall. I think it's called High Point Mall in Mississauga. I might have told this story before. I doubt it, but the grocery store it was like an Oceans type thing, like Asian grocery store, but it was called Grant's Food Mart.
Okay.
And it was all in, I think it was Chinese, because the area is mostly Vietnamese and Chinese. And it was called Grant's Food Mart. It was a picture of Ulysses S. Grant.
What?
Like, and then not English. I never actually bothered to check to see exactly which language it was, but a full like a black and white portrait.
Is it still there?
I'll show you right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's funny because I think in like Markham or whatever, I remember going to a grocery spot. I might have been Markham. It was the first time that I saw an actual like live ad with Faker on it. It was for a chicken thing. And I stood beside and I'm like, can't fucking get away from this guy.
Can't get away from the goat. He's everywhere, bro.
You know, it is funny though, because like, what? Let me see this shit. Hold on.
Like, okay.
No
it's
idea.
Big too.
Yeah, I don't know what the connection is. Couldn't
the
tell you.
Fuck?
Couldn't tell you what the connection is.
You send me that afterwards.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Part of me, like, you know what? It sucks because part of me, I can't separate what is nostalgia and what's like a good business idea.
Yeah.
Right. Because like because I come from like a bit of a smaller community, I want this to believe that this is like something that young people, like younger than myself anyway, would love as like a community option. Right.
Yeah.
But are we too far gone? Like, is PC gaming and console gaming too far gone that there is no way to have a sense of community in real life anymore?
I don't think so. I think that it works. I just think you need to be really concerned about where you're doing it, right? Like, it's like if you're opening any shop, store, cafe, space, whatever your business idea is, right? Like, you have to pick, like, you know, to take like the extremely oft-quoted real estate at Dodge, right? Like location. Like you have to, you know, if you have put this place on Queen Street and it's got a cool big, you know, wide open space and it's cool and dark and like, you know what I mean? There's like food and like, and you look at it and you're like, this is centrally located. It's easy to get to. It's downtown. There's young people here. There's people in their 20s, people in their 30s, like whatever. I think it's a great idea. I legitimately think you can do it. I just think you'd have to do it right and you'd have to do it in the right place and you have to know what it is you're hitting. Like, one of the things we talked about is like, it's kind of like when you go to places like laser tag, right? Imagine if people did work functions at stuff like that, right? Like, we could do it.
Yeah.
We could get 10 people from the office and be like, let's go do an in-house.
Yeah.
And imagine getting like the fist bumps on lamps.
Yeah.
You're paying for that ability to like have TeamSpeak with sound canceling headphones and like sitting 5 across from 5 and you can get up over the PC and yell at people. And like, I think like, that would be an experience that people would pay for the same way they pay for a paintball work function or whatever, right?
Or like, you know, the biggest thing I can connect it to is like, would probably be like board game cafes, which there are still a considerable amount of board game cafes in the city. Now that is a little bit different because obviously board games can actually be pretty expensive, so it does make sense to go to a place to play them. But a lot of the time what I did too with the PC, because the way mine worked is when you walked in, there was basically like the shitter computers that were like to print your resumes and look at porn. And then there was like the normal computers that had like Dota, Warcraft, and Counter-Strike on them. And then there was 3 that were like gaming computers that the guy built himself, and he would continue to build them. And he would buy new games. So that's how I played like a lot of new games. Is instead of going and because like you couldn't really rent PC games back then, but I was a big Blockbuster kid, like going every week to rent a console game. But when it was a computer game like Crysis or something like that, I was like, oh, I'll just pay $7 and like a week basically and play it for 3 hours at a time. And then that's how I would play through games that like I couldn't afford to buy myself and my PC couldn't run. Was those 3 special ones. But the other thing too and maybe this is something, because like if you think about it, there is a lot of parallel to like karaoke bars
Yeah.
in the sense where like they are wholly unnecessary. Like it is infinitely cheaper to just get a $20 mic off of Amazon and a bottle of Jack Daniels and have people over and because I will say I'm okay. I have mixed feelings about karaoke. I like the idea, but when it's actually the day of, I'm like, I don't want to fucking do this. They have only gotten worse, and there's like a lot in the city, but so many of them have gone downhill, and I'm sure this is a universal experience to the point where like they're just giving you that $20 Amazon mic that's like hooked up to a speaker they have in there, and they're like, yeah, just go nuts on YouTube, and you just like look up YouTube videos like, oh, Call Me Maybe, Carly Rae Jepsen. Karaoke, and that's what you're looking at. It's like not actually like you're not getting the book because that shit's probably super expensive and like just unrealistic now with the amount of music that like just comes out on like a daily basis and like new pop songs that like blow up that people want to be singing that just like drop literally like on every 2 days.
Yeah,
it's just unrealistic. So I understand why they do it that way, but like people still go.
Yeah,
all the time, and there's still 1,000 of them within the downtown area.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
so like
there's a bunch.
So it's still very popular. I assume they're still doing well.
Maybe this is to tie in with the idea of like the third space because
Yeah.
if you did like the $20 Amazon mic, dude, you're still doing it in the comfort of your own home.
So,
bro, I don't want to be home.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's why where I'm saying the parallel is maybe there is like a yearning to go for the internet cafe because people are still doing karaoke even though it's like expensive as shit now, and like not. Like sometimes the mic doesn't fucking work, but like no one really cares. They're like, whatever.
Yeah.
We're here.
It's like part of the experience.
Yeah, it's part of the experience, and it's just there's good ones and bad ones. Yeah.
It was funny because I was talking with my girlfriend about it, and one thing that I remember bringing up is that even nowadays, like, dude, how many people just chill in a cafe to do work?
Yeah.
Like, go to any other cafe to the point where it's become like a problem. Like, there's a cafe in the city, Neo Cafe, that like has straight up a no laptop policy because there's so many people that would just come in, just do their work, spend hours, and like to them loiter, but like they're doing their work, but they're doing it in another space. I know a ton of people that just want to go to another space to do their work because they hate the idea of just being stuck inside their place for so long. There's a perfect opportunity. You have a spot where you just go in, you're able to have a table where you can set up your laptop or your peripherals or whatever the hell, be able to get food, be able to do whatever, and just work for hours on end, maybe pay like a few bucks just to use the internet for however many hours. Like, I feel like this is such although maybe practiced and failed, I still feel that there is a way to actually get into this market. And I feel like I'm developing a business idea right now, which is not the intention, but
I think the infrastructure is like 80% of it. I really do. I remember when at Worlds 2 years ago, maybe it was last year. I can't remember. Was Worlds in Korea last year? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
But Pobelter was co-streaming Worlds from a PC bong in Korea. And his chat was asking him questions because, of course, his chat is predominantly North American, right? So they're asking him questions about it, and he was explaining like, so I'm sitting here at this PC, like I have this much time booked off. It's like this beautiful cushy chair with this beautiful cubicle, beautiful computer, the camera. Like he's fucking streaming to like thousands from that, and he's like, I have like a fucking iPad with like a menu, and I can like this, and then just press a button, and like the food just gets brought to me. And he's like talking about like how there's like 120 17-year-olds here playing League of Legends.
Yeah.
30 of whom are going to be on LCK Academy teams next year.
Yeah.
And like he's just explaining how like the gap between like PC Bong culture in Korea is like and us in the West is literally it's a chasm. Like you can't even understand. You have no concept of like what like they're so cool. I've never been to Korea. I've never been to a PC bong there. But like the ones that I grew up going to were clearly emulating
inspired by
and like they're so cool. They're so cool. They're so easy to spend time in. You're hungry? Done. You want to do work? Done. You want to hang out with your friends? Done. Play games? Done. Play a different game? Done. Play with people physically there? Done. Play ranked online? Done. Like all of it's just easy. It's cheap. It's fun. And I just feel like if you nail down that part of it and take the infrastructure really seriously, I think, and location, like we talked about. I think that actually it's like not. I don't think it's like a death wish. I don't think it's some boomer pipe dream. I really don't. I
Yeah.
think
Well,
it's yeah.
I think like there was a point, and the best video to grab B-roll from on this is the Base Hunter Dota video.
Oh, brother, we were
But-
talking about this the other day.
But you know, where we really kind of saw this like at its peak, I don't know if we can bring it up on the screen, was like DreamHack. Like DreamHack was completely founded on this concept to be able to have like everyone come to like a single location, when you would have all of these people who would go to LAN cafes and know each other online or whatever. And this is like just the wider version of it. I can't play the music because, you know, I would have to. But like, dude,
BYOC, bro.
but like all the people would just come to this freaking event and just game for hours and hours and hours. And then you had fucking Base Hunter on stage.
That
the-
hair, man. Fuck.
There was still like Evo definitely had a lot of that feeling to it, if minus all the vendors and people selling, you know, body pillows, it like minus all of that. It did have like a LAN, because it is a LAN, right? Like people
Yeah.
are bringing their own equipment, and if not, everything's set up. So it does still exist. It just seems like that's the only community that like.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this is where the only time I get to actually practice this is with Melee. Like, Melee has the ability, very much so, to be able to just be played online. Like, we have Slippy, we have rollback netcode, which is more than a lot of other people can say. A lot of people comfortably play Melee online, but you still have so many people that actually just go week
Yeah.
after week to locals and play their game with people in a bracket because they just either want to play with their friends or they want to get better in a competitive bracket. Even in a scene where it's filled with so many introverts, it's still able to practice that like in-person environment. And people come out from like, you know, Mississauga, Newmarket at times to just come to the oh god, I can't remember the pub right now. But the one from across from Batondo's, right off College, the pizza place.
I know Batondo's. I don't know the pub.
There's a pub across the street. That's where we have the locals. So many people come out. You get 50 people at a time just playing a Melee bracket for this 20-plus-year-old game. And FGC still has locals as well. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because the arcade culture that was like embedded into it at like a young stage. But like,
I think that people just want. I mean, I'm honestly asking because this is what it would be for me. Do you think people just want high quality games? I would rather play 3 pugs a week, 2 pugs a week, if they were like in-person pugs.
Yeah.
High quality games with humans,
Yeah.
right? With monitors turned on, right? And fucking microphones and like wrinkles in their brain.
Yeah.
And I play 2 a week. That I have to pay money to physically sit down, bring my mouse,
Yeah.
bring my keyboard, bring my headset, sit down, play, have fun, have a night of pugs, run 3-4 maybe in one sitting, you know, a 3-hour session, whatever. And like, I would wait. Maybe it's because of my age. Maybe because I'm really sick of. I don't know if like. Because this is what you're up against.
Yeah.
The battle that you're up against is matchmaking. It's like the battle about physical media against like streaming, right?
Yeah.
Like the competition of buying a CD or a tape or a record is Spotify, is Apple Music, right? The competition of a LAN cafe is go home, turn on the Xbox or the PC, and just press play and just matchmake, right? The problem is that matchmaking service has like so famously become dog shit and awful.
cheaters.
It's cheaters. It's fucking, which mind you we had back in 2004, but still, like it's the toxicity, the obsession with the number as opposed to the play. Like I'm at a point now where I just want to play Counter-Strike, like high quality Counter-Strike with people who want to play high quality Counter-Strike, and not win so I can get my plus 24. And dip out and type exit in console, get the fuck out and queue another one as fast as humanly possible. Like, I don't want to do that. And maybe that's just me because I'm 32 and I just don't care anymore about face it level. But like, or face it elo. But like, I just want that. And I have to believe that there are a non-insignificant number of people who also want that for that game, for many games. Like, there's a lot of 34-year-old League of Legends players out there who are very fucking good at the game. A lot. The game is old, and there's a lot of players out there who are very good. And I'm sure that if they had the option to be like, I would love to go to a cafe after work, play 2 hours worth of games, 3 games of League, right? Against people who are like, you know, humans and want to play. And there's no ranked, there's no fucking report so-and-so for inting my jungle, running it down mid lane, whatever the fuck. no slurs in chat, right?
Yeah.
I feel like people would be down. And I
Yeah.
think that's, I mean, this is like probably a pretty five-head thing to say, but because we are like children with blocks in the West, right? I'm probably one of the reasons they're so popular in Korea. I imagine it has to be that. I shrug, right?
Because
Like
they want good
good
quality
games. They want
Yeah.
good games. Like I just imagine that
Like,
has to be part of it.
How many times
right?
have you
Like,
added a person online strictly because they were a good teammate?
oh, dude. Oh my god. We used to only do that. Like
Yeah.
now I do it maybe once every 6 fucking months, but used to do it every couple of days.
Yeah.
Right? Like
It's similar to like my feelings with like Blockbuster, where I'm like, I would love to go home and rent weapons and watch it with my fiance tonight,
Yeah.
rather than find out what fucking streaming service it's on, pay for that one, cancel it. I'm like, why can't I just want to go rent a movie? I'll bring it back right when I'm done. Like, I don't even give a shit.
you're fucking opening up a whole
I know. I mean, like,
You're
you saw the documentary, I'm assuming, the one about the last Blockbuster.
Yes.
Oh, no, but
And
I
it,
need to.
it's great.
Especially because we live in Canada too, where like the media shit is like so much worse, right?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I mean, you're opening up a whole other fucking conversation.
but
now
it's
of,
it's
like,
what it is. It's just like it's
Yeah.
it's simplicity and it's ease of access and it's the quality of enjoyment, right? Like it's I don't know.
I just like buy. I mean, this is obviously physical media is like coming back in a very big way now,
Yeah.
right? A huge way. But like, I ran into this like about 8 or 9 months ago, where like my wife and I wanted to fucking watch the OC because we're fucking millennials,
Yeah.
and so it's right. It's like a fucking yearly thing, and I just like realized the actual easiest, cheapest way to watch this fucking television series from the early 2000s was to physically purchase DVDs
Yeah.
for $10 at BMV, and that's not even if I
Yeah.
can find them for $2 at a fucking
Value
at a
Village.
Value Village. But like going through Crave and monthly subscriptions and ads, I literally looked at this and I was like, I would rather fountain dive IRL. Like there's no
Yeah.
fucking way I'm doing this. I'm purchasing them. I own them forever. I don't have to like, right? And we're opening up a fucking other can of worms.
this-
But I do think that these things are like
They're
not
connected.
they're not related. I really
Yeah.
don't like.
Yeah, no.
These become and here's why. I'll lay it out explicitly. In the same way that matchmaking was a great idea, it was. Like I was there, like I just said, with All Stars, where like you had to like. You know, like the way people queue FPL now, like you watch
Yeah,
pros
yeah.
on stream, or like
Yep.
or chat, whatever. That was literally what we would do, where you'd like join a server and you'd be like, okay, server 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, sick, 10 people, let's play a game. 7 minutes into the laning stage, your pudge fucking leaves, and you're like, you were so mad because you're like, I'm fucking matchmaking. Press the button. People of similar skill level,
Yeah.
balances the teams for you. Boom, you're in the server. Great idea. The problem is that fast forward 10, 15 years, now we have charms, now we have ranked, now we have all of the bullshit, which I won't rehash because you're fucking sick of listening to me talk about it. Matchmaking is now eating its own tail and has gone up its own ass in the same way that the ease of the streaming services have.
Yeah.
10 years ago, 15 years ago, Netflix was a really cool idea. Great idea. It was really good and it was convenient. Now, it's not for a variety of reasons, right?
Yeah.
17 of the different shows you want to watch are on 17 different subscription services, and you have to have one. And I
And it
think
was
that-
never going to be one.
Exactly. And I think that we are now at a point where people are sort of like pulling away and being like, how do I make this simple again?
Yeah.
I think with online gaming, whatever, with like group gaming, I think that is a thing people are genuinely interested in again.
I also think you're going to get much better faster. I think there's a skill
Oh,
component
that's
to it.
fucking bro.
I think you get more chance to play with potentially people who are much better than you, and you get to learn much better. But
Dude.
let's move on from this one because I think we're with the streaming stuff. We're approaching old man yell at cloud territory, even if it is true. So I am still kind of in my feels about that whole thing, and I maybe it is just nostalgia, but for the time of nostalgia, let's move on to some Counter-Strike, because speaking of nostalgia, Complexity calls it quits, man. Man, when I saw Jason Lake in this video, I'm like, oh, he looks worked, man. Like he looks like he doesn't want to give this announcement at all. He looks like he is just in his feels right now. And Complexity, despite trying for a very, very long time, Complexity are out of Counter-Strike. And they cited, if I remember correctly, it was just they weren't able to get the revenue to really run a tier 1 team to the capacity. And I appreciate that Jason specifically said to a tier 1 capacity, because he said with all the revenue stuff, like it just doesn't make sense for them to run it anywhere else, basically. And I appreciate him not wanting to go into the fucking like cauldrons of tier 2 CS, especially in North America, because that would reduce the value of the brand. Like ENCE is kind of going through right now, unfortunately. ENCE used to be like the pinnacle for Finnish CS and was playing in all these tier 1 stuff, and now they're stuck in tier 2, and the memories of Kato 2019 is just kind of gone.
It is no longer easy for ENCE.
The other thing too, the other thing too with like the Complexity situation, like even if they were a tier 2, tier 3 team, the existence of those is to be a stepping stone for those players to move on, like academy teams, tier 2 teams. But then what is going to happen if you play for a Complexity tier 2 team and what's your stepping stone to go to their competitor, to go to a Team Liquid?
I know.
Like,
there's like
one
other team.
It's just like a weird thing where or like go to FaZe. Like it's weird where they're like, even if we do get to build a star player, but we don't have the money to go into tier 1, then we just lose that player immediately.
Yeah.
So there just is no way to make it unless you have the money to just say, to ball out and buy an entire roster.
Yeah. And it is pretty sad to see, because I mean, Dimitri, they've been trying for a while to really kind of get back up to a tier 1 stat. We were talking about it like the other week, how that was it the Complexity roster with, was it Elige on it?
Yeah, they got close.
They were good.
You know,
they were,
with
and they were,
Blame F
they were,
and all them. Like,
no, that's different. So there's the online roster of the COVID era with Blame F, with Poison, with what's his face, the youngin.
Grim?
No.
Oh,
Oh my god. The young man who unfortunately had a
Oboe?
Oboe.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a great team. That was a great team.
Yeah,
Like,
that
they were
was a good
fun
team.
to watch. They were good. They were really good. But no, the recent Elige team was a banger team.
Yeah.
Like they looked great, right? Like that team, even before they got Elige, when they had Fang, shout out to the Toronto lad. Was so good. They were so fun to watch. They were true North American darlings. They brought back that era. Speaking of like one of your favorite teams, Seb, right? The 2017 Optic. 2016? 2016 E-League. Yeah, 2016 Optic. They were true NA darlings. Great team, always on the cusp, never quite right there. And like, I just think that they lost Elige. They could never truly give Elige a team, because my God, was that dude carrying that fucking roster at times. And then when they lost him,
you can't float above water if you don't have at least a superstar level talent. And unfortunately, in North America, you have two. You have Twists. You have, unless you still count NAF.
I will always count NAF.
And you have Elige. And Elige went to FaZe.
Yeah.
Twists on Liquid.
Yeah.
There's no other room unless you're one of those two teams.
It's tough because Grim was hailed to be such a... People really thought, like even Europeans, like really thought he was going to be a star. He was going to be a star, and he's a great player. Like Grim is a really good player. The problem is like, what is really good when you come from NA in this era, right? And that's to say, like, not from 10 years ago, right? Not in the era in which Twists and NAF and Elige came up, right? Or Stewie or Tarek, right? And Grim just always felt like he just always felt like he was kind of never delivered on the crazy, like he is the one about whom the prophecy foretells.
Yeah,
I still remember him just like farming tier 2 and dropping like 230 bombs, like back-to-back 30 bombs. Who did he play for? Was it like the New England Whalers or was
it was one of those teams.
Or like the Lumberjacks or some shit like that. I forget the name of the team. It was when there was so many American tier 2 teams.
I know.
And I remember specifically, I was working here, and I'm like, who the fuck is this kid? He just dropped like 230 bombs back to back. And then like blink my eyes, he's on Team Liquid. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, fair
I
enough.
had
And he was
friends-
so hyped when he
What was
came
the
to
name of the
Liquid.
team?
Triumph.
Triumph. It's the
yes.
deer, right?
It's the- yeah, Triumph.
Um,
I had friends in who work in esports, like people who are team managers or in France, who like in Europe, who were like, oh, they had huge expectations with this kid. They really thought he was going to be like an absolute fucking phenom. And
but even when he was on that Liquid team,
Many
right?
such cases.
Yeah, well, because I feel like it's not the first. Like we've had how many hyped up superstars that have come through North America and have fizzled out now. We had
Grim,
We had Grim, Som,
Ethan.
Tens at one
Do we count
point.
Ethan?
Well, Ethan was very early, but
he
yeah.
was. Yeah.
There were so many, and
I
even
think
like
Ethan got more. I will say, I think Ethan truly got like timinged by the games.
Yeah.
I don't think he was a great CS player. I don't think that he actually like fizzled out. I think that just that thing happened where like NACS proper died because of COVID, and he stuck.
Valorant.
He was a holdout.
Yeah.
He was a holdout. Like he was one of those people who said, "I will never switch."
Yeah.
Right. And then
because
he
we
went-
also with COVID, but we also had the Valorant kind of brain drain.
That's what I
almost,
mean.
you
Like
know?
when it died, and then Valorant. Sorry, I should have been more specific.
I
but
mean, yeah, there were so many players. Like,
Yeah.
even Sick. I mean, like, he was fucking crazy at CS.
he
but
was
then
good.
Just left.
He was great.
Yeah, dude, like listen to this Liquid roster: Grim, Stewie, Naf, Twists, Elige. How's that team not just run shit?
And the worst part is like Grim on that team was just like he was heralded to be this like pop-off rifler. And because of the pedigree of the 5 names on that team, or the 4 other names on that
Was he
team,
not? Sorry, continue.
he basically was like he played B anchor. Like he just played B anchor because mind you he was like brand new to like true tier 1 play, right? And he was learning, he was like getting his feet, right? Cutting his teeth, but like it was hard to watch sometimes because like you could see that he was just playing a role that was not the role he was used to.
It felt like everybody played the same position on Team Liquid and have been
Yeah.
for the last 5 years.
He went to Complexity, and I will say, like in his, he did immediately sort of like pop off on Complexity. Like he did immediately show like, oh yeah, this is what happens when you actually give him the resources and treat him like a star player. And then they got Elige and gave Elige all the resources, and God bless John, he showed us what vintage 2019 Elige used to look like, and he went crazy.
Jonathan Jablonowski.
Johnny Jazz, baby. So are we gonna talk about? Can we speculate? Can we
All
speculate?
right, okay. Well, yeah. Let's.
yeah, part
let's,
two.
Let's. Yeah, I guess this is basically a part 2.
Pour one out for Complexity. Let's put a cap on this. Pour one out for Complexity. I also think from Jason's announcement, it did make it sound as if like, I think he's for those who don't know, maybe people don't actually know, Complexity are like born with Counter-Strike. They are a Counter-Strike
they
org.
had the first North American winning major team.
It is truly like crucial to it's like a telecom team not being in like StarCraft or League.
Yes.
It's like a big deal for them not to be in CS. I think they're going to come back eventually.
Yeah.
but-
So
I think that what they need to do to remain in that is they need to sign like a big name, like as a content creator, like a JoJo, like a Dima Wallhacks, like a Arrow, like someone that's like pretty big, just to remain tapped in to the scene, and just
Yeah.
get that fucking overlay.
you know, it'd be
Get-
great. Stewie,
Yeah, well,
get him on there.
I don't even know what this guy's playing anymore.
Actually,
I
don't
can't
either.
tell if he's playing Valorant or if he's playing CS.
Does he still play Val?
I don't even know.
I thought he only plays CS now.
Is it
I'm
only
pretty sure
CS?
it's only CS.
I'm pretty sure it's only CS.
I love his cam. It's just it's most consistent cam.
It's
dark
just
as shit
a
in his
dark
room all the
room with a
time.
ball cap
That's what I
over
mean, I
his
don't even know what
eyes
he's playing.
and fucking
Yeah.
just-
He's in his grind set.
Yeah, I
but-
think if they sign like a big one of the creators that's like with the new era
Yeah.
of fandom that has been brought into this game.
Just imagine One in a fucking Complexity jersey.
Oh,
Bro, and he's too big. He's too
actually.
big now,
He's
bro.
actually huge.
Fucking Lando Norris knows who he is.
yeah.
That's crazy.
That
fucking
was such an
crazy.
insane
It's
clip.
insane.
FaZe bench Elige.
True.
FaZe
FaZe
bench
have
Elige.
benched Elige. North American.
I was pretending I saw that for the first time.
That felt.
That
Yeah.
felt appropriate.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you think this was his choice? Sometimes that happens where players just request. To
I
go
don't
in.
know. and I actually don't have any information on this. I don't have any insider information, so like I'm kind of actually speculating. I don't know if it was a thing of they benched him or if it was a thing of they. I mean, look, there's several layers to this. Let's attack this from several angles. One of the things people are, and again, I have no insider information. I have the gift of literally being able to speculate. One of the things people are talking about is the Twists Elige swap.
Yeah.
Is let's run it back.
Yeah.
That came like a week before.
So if that is the case, then I can understand Elige like this making sense.
Yeah.
Elige being like, yes, I will gladly be the one who gets cut because I really just want to go back to my team, right? And then Twists is like, I want to go back to my team, so let's do right. If that is what's happening, then I completely see this being a like
they do the prisoner handoff.
Yeah. yeah. The hostage, like they bring the two and
The problem is like
they have like fucking bags over their heads, they have, like, zip ties on their hands.
like for FaZe, right? Like FaZe have been in the dumps as of late. Like you look at their content, they literally have like a video
Called We
on
Are
their
Not a Team.
on their YouTube channel from 9 days ago saying we're not a team right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, if I remember correctly, Twists has also been very doomer about like how Liquid.
Well,
has
but
been
Liquid
as well.
are
The
like
whole team has.
Liquid is legitimately. Though I said this a few weeks ago on our podcast, and I think this is the worst that Liquid have ever been
Since yes,
in their entire history in Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
I cannot even again when they were like coming together
Yeah.
in 2015
15.
or whatever. I cannot even imagine a time then when they looked worse than they do now. It is so hard to watch how dog shit they are. FaZe are dog shit by FaZe standards.
yes,
But like they still it's how do I put this? Like FaZe, it is clear that they don't have a piece. They are aging. These guys are not spring chickens anymore. Rain and Kerrigan are not spring chickens, right? Like they're definitely up there. And like with the case with Liquid, it just completely feels like a synergy thing. There's no one on that team who's like over the age of 30 and you're like, well, you know, maybe. No, like you look at that team and you're like, there's a young talent on here. They're good players, great players. What the fuck is happening? And I don't think there is I don't think it's the same thing. I think it's a little bit apples and oranges with FaZe v Liquid. Like I think FaZe are in the dumps and need a move. I think Liquid are like the fucking alarms are blaring and like the door is doing the automatic shut and like they gotta get like it's bad.
Yeah, so it seemed like that handoff was going to happen.
I thought
Or
there
it
was a
felt
real
like it
chance. I thought there was a real chance. Yeah.
But
instead they
signed a guy I've never heard of before. No offense to him.
Jacob,
I don't think anyone's heard of him. I don't think
who
it's an offensive
I called
is
him JBC or J.
he's 21.
Jacob.
Was previously playing with what in the hell is
Bet Click
that?
Apogee Esports.
Sure. Part of the
Which I was gonna make a joke. It literally is an online gambling company. I was gonna make a joke about it being a crypto org. But it actually is a fucking online gambling company.
Bet Click.
Oh baby.
Coming from Polish squad.
Is he
We're
Polish
switching.
himself,
We're
I'm assuming?
switching. Yes, we're switching one Pole for another. It seems.
Yeah.
That is quite funny. Right, Elige is Polish, right?
I assume so. Jablonowski?
Jablonowski sounds very Polish, but I mean he's American, obviously.
Yeah, he's American. Whatever. You know.
That always comes first.
Listen, maybe it is time for him for FaZe in this case to be able to like take a bit of a risk. They're grabbing someone from the tier 2 scene and they're trying to. I'm just gonna quickly look up his HLTV
If there's one thing they
stats.
need, it's youth. That's for
yeah,
that's for darn
that's
Putin.
definitely the case. That's definitely
But
the case.
it's just like
Yeah, it's good rating.
But is there even like a fucking like I actually don't know. I don't pay attention to this shit. Do FaZe even have money?
they could not enough.
Haven't
Well,
they been
listen.
bankrupt for like 2 years?
Oh, yeah.
Just
Didn't-
because they didn't afford Simple, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that they don't have.
Oh no,
money.
I'm not equating one with the other. I'm what I'm saying is like, haven't they been like? I've heard the FaZe players themselves.
Yeah, that is the double-edged sword of like we talk about with FaZe, how like they're so far removed from FaZe Clan, like
Yeah.
the Counter-Strike team, where like it doesn't seem like they ever interact with each other.
Because like didn't.
But then like
Rops-
FaZe Banks is like tweeting that he's just like he's being like forced out of the company or something like every other week because of a new crypto scandal he may or may not allegedly did. Like it's so confusing. And then you have a world-class Counter-Strike team.
You also
But,
have the
like,
COD
what's it-
team.
Yeah.
playing
And
a
I'm not
FaZe.
putting words in his mouth, so like if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm just like I just remember this memory of Rops when he was leaving, him saying something offhandedly in an interview about like when they were talking about the future of the team, and him being like, well, you know what I mean, like if we're still, if I think Kerrigan said something similar too, like they were just sort of openly talking about like if we're even around in 6 months or a year, we don't know, you know what I mean, like how do we know, right? Like because they are so removed, they're so distanced that like I just I'm asking because I just feel like I don't think. Do FaZe have the money to go out and sign like fucking?
Probably not. I would say probably no.
Probably not.
Um,
If they could get like a top tier talent, they probably would. Funny thing is like even now in modern Counter-Strike, you don't see too many. At least from my experience, like you're not seeing too many like top tier transfers between like other teams outside of the most recent being like Liquid and FaZe kind of thing.
I mean, Rops to Vita was the like
Rops
blockbuster
to
move
Vita was the
of
last, huge big
We
one.
haven't had anything.
Buyouts are probably really high.
I think.
FaZe is a Pandora's box of an org though that I don't want to know the details.
No, I literally couldn't tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
Like every
I'm
other
just
day, it's
asking
like
because I'm like I don't know if they like.
But hopefully, like listen, like
corn on
is
the
this-
cob can do it.
corn on the cob.
That's my new nickname for him.
Corn on the cob.
Corn on the
baby.
J cob.
Jay is
J
indeed on the
cob.
cob. Yeah. Well, that sounds worse actually, but.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, BetClick was harboring an absolute juicer here.
There has to be some juices on tier 2, right? Like they're you need to be able to find talent, and if they're able to develop talent, I mean, they found Brokey like out of nowhere,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So I think if they're able to do it, I don't know where Elige goes. He's still, I believe,
He said he made it clear in his tweet that like it's announced soon.
he's still contracted technically to
He
FaZe.
could go back to Liquid and they could run it with him and
Twist.
Russell.
Oh. And then
Who'd they
they'll
get
like
rid of?
bomb out like top 16 at a major, if that, and like, but I'll still
Yeah,
just
unless this is like NAF finally wanting to leave, I have no clue.
no. But could you imagine Naf, Elige, and Twist getting on the same team again?
Yeah, they
Oh
might
my
fucking just kill each other. I have no idea what is going on with this roster and what's
Yeah.
going on with these people. Like,
But I will say I don't think there was ever any like I don't think that my memory of it, talking to people and them included, these players included, is like there's never any animosity between Twist and Elige.
I don't know.
No, I don't think there would be.
No,
You know what the
not as a primary like there was definitely some well documented animosity between Stewie and between the several players, but I think that like Naf is Naf. Naf's always been his fucking I'm just the chill guy. I'm just doing my thing. I'm right, but like I think it would be cool to run it back.
Oh, I would love it as long as like they're all like they're
You guys are gonna think I'm fucking joking. You're gonna think I'm fucking joking, man. But at this point, dead ass. At this point, bring back Nitro.
Do you get rid of Shuhei already then?
Get rid of Nitro. Get rid of Shuhei, bring back Nitro.
And then
bring back my
Nitro.
boy.
Well, no, because Elige would replace Shuhei.
Yep.
Probably. No,
He's
because
not
then who's going to
replace
be?
Nerds, right? Because
That's what I mean.
You
Nerds.
know what?
Is,
Yeah.
You know what the real answer is? Get Elige on Bet Boom.
No, you know what people were saying.
Bet Boom. Are you talking
No,
about
was it-
BC Game?
Sorry,
Yeah,
BC
BC
game.
game.
My
Yeah,
bad.
who was it? Was it Launders who tweeted that, or was it Chad? I can't remember. Like Sponge, I can't remember. Said Elige to BC game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elige to BC game.
That if that just I want to be like
I would
abundantly clear.
actually-
I'm only gonna say this. I'm only gonna say this because like obviously BC game just signed fucking Simple, which means anything is possible, right? If that actually happens, I will not have words.
Okay.
I will. I
thought
that is
you were
a
gonna be like,
rare
I will-
thing
I will
for
eat my
Dimitri
jock.
to say. I will not have words if that happens.
I would kind of be down.
No.
It doesn't.
No.
No, I would
No.
no, I would so
No.
be down.
It doesn't seem
Absolutely
like
not.
something Elige would be interested.
I don't
in.
think he would do that. I legitimately think between that and retiring or becoming or becoming a coach and or
Yeah.
like performance consult, whatever, for like, if I think between that and him getting a job with Team Liquid as
Yeah.
a like resident, like salaried in-house like consult for their not, keep in mind, it wouldn't just be for Counter-Strike. Like you could employ Elige to be like your performance coach for all the
I mean,
FPS
before
teams.
he originally left, didn't he like become part owner?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He's like HBox. He owns a
Yeah,
piece
yeah,
of that.
yeah.
But I will say that like I think Elige would rather do that than take a fucking contract
Take a
with BCA.
fat bag
I think
and
I
play
think
with
he
Simple to
I
get
think he
to a
legitimately
major.
I think like him playing with the Simple. I think he'd be like, yeah, sure, why the fuck not?
Yeah, I don't think that's the issue. They
I-
play at the major. I don't
Yeah,
think that's the
exactly.
problem.
I think it would be. It's more that he wants to play for a legitimate esports organization. I don't.
Yes.
I don't.
And-
I don't know the guy like that well or at all really, so I don't know what he thinks. But he doesn't take me for someone that would be like, yeah, I'll just take the bag and play with Simple.
He's a fan, I think. He does enjoy like esports.
Well,
in
no, it's
general,
not
I
that. Like, so I don't know John ultra well, but I have interacted with him like several times, and the impression I get from him is that he is a serious competitor who I think would not. I don't think I could be eating my words in a few days' time when an announcement comes out, but I think that he is the kind of guy who recognizes that like the fickleness of esports and that like there are ways in esports to be a serious competitor, like to be without like you don't have to be on the server. You don't like I really feel that like if he goes to Liquid and he's like you can hire me to be a performance consult for like all of your teams.
Mhm.
Like having Elige come and sit down with a group of like 5, Valorant players
Yeah.
would be really valuable. From aim training regimes to comms to like never mind the Counter-Strike team, that goes without saying. But like I just think like it would be a really valuable guy to have on your staff, right?
Yeah.
And he gets to work with Team Liquid, he gets to work in esports, and he doesn't have to. He's not playing for fucking BC
Because
games,
we don't
right?
really have like a retired GOAT yet, do we?
Forced.
No. In North America.
Oh, they're all gone.
They're all gone, bro.
They're all gone.
retired. I mean, like Tarek is like.
Welcome to 2025, brother.
I'm
But
not saying
no.
Tarek is
Sorry,
the
when I
GOAT,
say
but-
retired, I mean like truly like went to Valorant, or like is a streamer. I'm talking about like out of the scene.
Oh,
Like they haven't been like no one has done what you're talking about yet,
yeah.
to my knowledge. Been like I'm going to.
Do like what Neo did with FaZe. Like,
Yes,
that's what I'm
yes,
saying.
yeah.
He should like Elige could do, right? Like yeah.
I don't think
actually-
anyone's done that yet.
Or like what Taz did with G2.
Yeah.
Where you take that
I
step and
don't-
you say.
No, I don't think we did.
Because I think everyone
No,
just
like
becomes
Jordan
a
is streaming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
just
I
become
would
content
love to see
creators.
Jordan on a team. I will say
He's told me that before he said it to me before that he would be interested in doing it. Jordan about like I think he would be an amazing coach.
Who-
I
I
think
think
so, too.
Jordan would be an amazing.
I
person to
legitimately
have
think so too.
On your
He's
staff.
so personable. He's great. I will say let's
Yeah.
move on for now. Mongols won their first event.
They did.
Now,
Well, first big event.
first big event. Now I'm not gonna.
Don't forget about Thunderpick. We never forget about Thunderpick.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna get into the minutia of like EWC as like a tournament or whatever. But
So cool, so epic that they do that. That was my hydraulic press impersonation. Thank you. Continue.
you forgot the like the.
Does it
blowing up
explode?
sound. Yeah, sometimes they do.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. First off, Mongols beat Vitality in the best of 3 to make it to the grand finals.
They have their number.
They do actually. It's actually
Twice
kind
in
of
a row.
growing a bit concerning.
Not concerning to me. Mongols on top.
Did you
Mongoats.
see who beat Spirit? Heroic
Oh yeah.
in round of 16. They didn't even make it to the quarters, brother. Now, at the end of the day, Mongols made it to the final. They beat Aurora Gaming, by the way, who were able to make it through, and it was a 3-0. But Mongols won the event, which many people, are pretty happy with. I have here. Oh no, where'd you go?
So the watch parties. Watch parties were crazy.
The watch
Good for
parties
them.
were crazy.
Tax free, eh?
What do you mean it was tax
They
free?
posted the Mongols posted like, oh, largest watch party in Mongolia, free entry and tax free. I'm like,
How is it free and tax free?
yeah, I'm like, what is it tax free?
dude.
I'm like, maybe it means something different than.
This was senior.
God damn. And then Senzu was just playing fucking Minecraft.
Yeah,
He streamed Minecraft like the next day.
that's awesome. That's actually so great. I love this team.
Yeah.
Also, want to use this shout out. We made a documentary on MongolZ, if I remember
We
correctly.
did. The timing did luck out.
Yes. But was that right after they beat Vitality?
I think the 14 hours after it came out, they beat Vitality.
Yeah. Super cool. Would highly recommend you guys check it out.
That's why I was an
a lot
awesome,
of work went
folks.
into
That's
it.
what I was behind the scenes cooking up for you guys.
Exactly.
And everyone else that
dude.
worked on it much more than I did. But
But
you know what I mean.
really awesome documentary that we put together on this MongolZ team, because I think even today people don't really grasp the story of how crazy this team is in the modern context of esports. I know we go crazy about Arslan Ash and Tekken in Pakistan,
Yeah.
but this is very similar to that.
Yeah.
In a scene where arguably it is much harder to just win as a team that is completely national, right?
I hate it because they keep getting, and I'll shout out Danielle, shout out Andrew, great job on the video, and everyone else. But I hate to say this because it's literally one of the things that MongolZ had going into it was them being kind of I think even doubted by Aurora, called oh, they only win they're still calling them a tier 2 team or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep doing that, but I just hope they win an event that isn't EWC.
Yes. No, I agree.
I just hope they win a different event.
But
now.
at least they have the fat stacks now to get a nice training camp for whatever they want.
That is true.
Which is cool. So that's MongolZ. Any thoughts, Dimitri?
I didn't watch it.
No.
I've never watched WC. Didn't even know they played. Didn't even know they won.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, cool. Moving on. You said you wanted to talk about some Battlefield stuff.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. First off, I'm gonna bring up the best. Oh wait, was this it? Hold on. Let me bring up the best article that I think I've ever seen. To the dismay of sweaty movement kids, Battlefield 6 is nerfing Call of Duty sliding and jumping to maintain a traditional Battlefield experience.
This is caused such a
Smoked.
war, and I'm clearly on the wrong side of it. Where
That's the best side to be, though. Just to be clear.
Oh,
that is the best side.
Not for mental health though, because I'm just seeing people I disagree with all the time and just getting infuriated by them because it's them in their own echo chamber now. And when I say them, I mean the movement people. So essentially, this is the argument that's been going on: is that it kind of got lost a little bit because of the whole Riley CS cheating kerfuffle. Even though they obviously weren't cheating, there was half a second where there was these conversations about maybe Battlefield being a little bit too fast. Battlefield 6, the sliding and the jumping accuracy was pretty fucking insane as well. I think that was honestly one of the bigger things than the sliding was the jumping accuracy. And listen, I'm not a movement player at all. So I know those people are going to come for me for my opinion. But essentially there was two sides. There was if you were to stereotype them, the boomers, the battle dads, the boomers who are this is Battlefield. It's not a movement game. It's not a realistic game, the same way that Counter-Strike's not a realistic game, but it's not Nicki Minaj, slide canceling and shit like that. It is a little bit more grounded. And the idea is that you want a soldier to just at least have the body movements of what a soldier can do. They run out of breath after a while.
Yeah.
They're not fucking Olympic athletes.
Yeah.
IRL, you are not sliding as a soldier. Can I just say that? You're not fighting people on a fucking soccer pitch. You're fighting people more often than not in city streets and rubble. You're not. I'll give someone I'll e-transfer you $100 if you send me a video of you with just jeans on, literally slide canceling across I don't know, your suburb fucking cul-de-sac that you live in. I'll e-transfer you. I've reduced it to $5. I'll e-transfer you $5 now if I see you do that. So that's one side being it's just it's a little beyond the pale. It's just it's a little too unrealistic. Yeah. Let's relax. We don't need people. And the aim thing, everyone could do aim. That's not something, in my opinion. That shit, I was fully on the side of the aimer group where I'm yeah, it's fucking cringe to get farmed like that, but that's just skill. There's nothing you can do about that. And so is movement, but it just isn't in the game. Now the other side is saying that every time, this is the movement people, the sweaty movement kids, who are every time a game just nerfs it. There aren't that many of us out there, but our clips go so viral. because of how fucking nasty we are at movement, and then we just keep getting nerfed, even though like more often than not you can play Battlefield and probably never run into one of us, which could be true. It is 64 or like 64 people, probably more than that.
Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah.
Yeah, there's more people, so it's you're realistically might not ever see them. But they were like fully convinced that like they were in the right. They're like, no, like do not nerf movement. Like you should be able to do whatever you should be able to do whatever you want in a game.
I found a Reddit thread about this exact point.
Yeah.
Where you get both sides. So the title is, did we truly have to nerf already inefficient movement even further because people are just that bad? And goes into, justification for like, I saw multiple posts from 40-year-olds even talking about how they liked everything about the game and that they should keep it as it is. What will future games have? Scripted movement events with aimbot level aim assist because we were playing blah, blah, blah. Because we are playing games tailored to people who can't sufficiently play a video game. So that's on the sweaty kid side. And then the first comment, which I'm going to go I'm reading as like Hank Hill, this is not Hank Hill, but go play COD if you want to play against adrenaline junkie movement players too, or act like one yourself. Regardless of how often someone runs into someone like that, it's not what Battlefield is or should cater to.
So that's the argument, is that that's not what Battlefield has ever been. And like now people are like pulling up like random clips where you see someone like slide canceling and moving around in like Battlefield 5, which I'll say it is the worst Battlefield game of all time, in my opinion. I think 2042 is marginally better than
Hardline.
Hardline wasn't bad. It's also not a Battlefield game. I will stand by that.
Okay.
I think it was a different game that they slapped Battlefield on.
Sure, fair enough.
Because they needed to sell more copies. That's my conspiracy. Anyway, it was also not that bad. They're like showing that. I'm like, this was like the most divisive game that they came out with. That's what it is. Maybe it's not the worst, but it's definitely the most divisive. And then 2042 came out and was just shit. But like Battlefield 1 had like basically no movement. Bad company, and those games were beloved.
Yes.
Battlefield 2, beloved game.
So here's my question. And I actually don't know because I haven't played Battlefield since 3. And I only played Bad Company before this, the 1 and 2. I don't remember. Did this type of movement, this like Apex fucking slide canceling, did this shit exist in older Battlefield games?
No.
It didn't at all.
No.
So like the whole slide thing, they added that with this new one with 6?
I think no. You could slide in 2040. You could slide in 5 onward. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so 5 came out like in a post Apex Legends world?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what people are saying is like there's like an actual historical argument here. It's not just a prescriptive one, it's a historical one. When you say and I don't have a side to be clear, or I do, but I'm not going to fall on one yet. What I'm trying to like lay this out so we can understand the argument, so we can understand the parameters of the argument, which is when people say X movement is not Battlefield, quote unquote. It's not in the spirit of Battlefield. What they're saying is not I'm being prescriptive and I'm saying I don't think it should. What they're saying is like, this is a 20-year-old franchise, and historically, over the course of this franchise, it has not been that case.
No,
we added this zoomer movement in because game developers saw Apex Legends and were like, well, everything has to feel like that now, so we have to cater to this bullshit, right? So I can understand that argument from a, like, again, historical standpoint. I get that, right? Like, it has never been this. Why does it now have to be this all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
If that's the case, then I can understand more why there was like such a reversion from the devs. Why the devs were so quick to say, hey, okay, like we're going to back off on this. We're going to nerf it. We're going to make it more in line with like traditional Battlefield, right? And that's the case. That's what you're saying. That's the case.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. It's still in the game.
Yes.
And no one, to be fair, to my knowledge, no one has fucking tried it yet.
Yeah.
Like no like content creator has like played it and been like, okay, so this is what it feels like. It's like honestly marginal. Like it's hard to tell because these systems are different from game to game. So it's hard to tell when they say it's reduced by X amount percentage. You're like, I don't know what that means unless I get my hands on and play it because it's a new game. I don't know what the fuck that means. Yeah.
Well,
the other thing that people are also arguing is that like, just let people have Battlefield. Like, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
Like, just let these fucking people have Battlefield. There finally seems like they're getting a good one after, 5 years of having just dog shit. And to be fair, when they sped the game up, when they added more movement and fucking heroes and all that shit, it's gone downhill.
Yes.
As opposed to when it was a little bit more rigid and weighted, and sure, maybe the movement was a little sluggish, but like people seemed okay with that, and the game was much more. The franchise was much more popular than it is now. And people are also pointing out that these people are too scared to play the real movement games.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if this is true, but they're basically saying like, you want Battlefield, even though obviously you already have Call of Duty if you want to play that game, but now another game comes out and suddenly that has to be a movement game as well. Where the fuck are you playing Apex? Why aren't you playing Counter-Strike?
Yeah.
Counter-Strike, you can do whatever the fuck you want. That is always... Is it good right now? Maybe not, but that's not a lack of Valve trying to improve the systems in the game. But Counter-Strike has always been a movement game if you wanted it to be. So why not just play that game?
The children yearn for Quake.
Well, and that's what... So I've seen comments being like, you're too fucking scared to play Quake.
You
I
wanna
definitely
scared.
said this a few weeks ago. I said, like, the thing I could definitely see that I feel is, like, cringe, right?
Yeah.
Is the, like, my movement. And it's like, brother, if you're farming movement clips in Battlefield, maybe you should try Wild Rift.
That's what I
or,
mean.
like, TFT or
Like-
something.
like,
come on. Like,
yeah.
if that's really your
Play
fucking whole
Tribes.
personality.
So-
Play
yeah,
Tribes
like,
Ascend.
buddy, like...
I want to say, I think the one thing that people are kind of forgetting about this whole thing, this is the whole point of a beta.
No, absolutely.
Oh,
for sure.
obviously, yeah. But
Like-
what we're saying is like, because the devs like this decision is. I didn't know this until we read to it. Like, this is interesting. The
Yeah.
fact that the devs actually is really interesting, right? Because like, they are now the fact that they're siding with, and I'm going to be really reductive about this, but the fact that they're siding with the boomers, they're
Yeah.
siding with the battle dads is interesting because I play a lot of Counter-Strike, and like I definitely, if I was playing Battlefield and I saw people slide jumping and fucking bee hopping and do whatever the fuck you do in these Apex, because I don't play like Apex, whatever. But if I saw people doing that shit, I would definitely be less incentivized to play the game. And I assure you, it's not like a skill thing. It's because like, if I'm going to play a movement game, I'm going to play a real movement game.
Yeah,
I'm not going to, like, I want to go to Battlefield to not do that
Yes.
shit. I want to play because my guy's out of breath and
You
because
can get a helicopter.
yeah, like
and crash into the side of a mountain.
Exactly,
And then
like-
respawn in the tank, and then die in the tank. And
I,
then
I think it's fair to say that if that's what you're going to Battlefield for, you're just looking at this you're missing the forest for the trees. You're looking at this very storied franchise that has had a very distinct identity for almost 20 years. And what you're doing is you're looking at it through this recency lens of, well, every twitchy FPS fucking battle royale game has felt like this for the past 5 years since Apex and Fortnite and the infinite CODs they've put out. And so now this has to feel like that
Yeah.
because that's how my muscle memory is trained because I'm 18 and this is the only game I've ever played.
They're
right?
pulling the get good argument.
Yeah,
rather
I would-
than just like,
I would-
hey,
And the problem is it's not get good. It's that you were 13 when Apex Legends came out, and this is your whole experience of games.
Yes.
But like what you're missing is there is this near 20-year history of Battlefield
Yeah.
that is more important than
Yeah.
it feeling like
Yeah.
the most recent Apex thing, whatever.
Yeah,
Right? Like
and the thing I also would kind of compare this, and when I said like, you know, I think the issue that a lot of people had with Riley CS, even if they didn't in their heart believe that they were cheating or that she was cheating, was that they just don't like the idea of someone trying that hard. And the thing about it is like, obviously I do think aim is a little different because you can technically kind of replicate that in any game, no matter what.
was she doing movement tech? I thought it
No,
was
no,
just
no.
aim.
It was just aim.
I was
That's
gonna say I
what-
watched
that's what
her
I'm
clip
saying.
and I thought it was just
that
aiming.
was just aim. But at the same time, whether it's aim like that or movement like these other people are complaining about, 9 times out of 10 in Battlefield specifically, the person you're shooting and killing is not even facing your direction.
Yes.
That is just the nature of the game, the size of the maps, the amount of things, especially in Conquest when you
Oh, yeah.
have to be looking at 8 different places on the map. Like, you're farming people because you can do that aim, which is impressive, or that movement, which is impressive in it. But let's be real. You're not getting away with that shit it takes a different beast to get away with that shit in Apex Legends or in Counter-Strike or in Tribes.
yeah.
Yes.
Or what's another movement game? Guns the Duel when it comes back out.
The
Right.
ultimate fucking bro.
I won't see these people in Guns the
You
Duel.
shitters think you're fucking good playing Battlefield. You would literally not last 3.5 minutes in a fucking Guns
Also,
N' Duel server.
and this is just ultimate. And my last point, which has been lost Not in just younger generations. It's all generations. I think COVID fucking wiped it out of our brains. Not all media is created for you. It's okay if something isn't for you. Listen, I do not like battle royales.
Yeah.
I don't like them. During COVID, every fucking game was battle royale. And you know what? I found different games to play. Everyone was playing Warzone, having a great old time, or Apex I did play Apex, but I like the arena modes, the 3v3. Anyway, I didn't play those games. It sucked that everyone was playing PUBG and shit like that and Fortnite. And I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Just like Dimitri doesn't like new metal.
Let's not. Let's
You're
just
Not all media is created
Not
for you.
all media is created for you. But let's move on to the Q&A. Because I don't know if you guys want to talk about XQC winning streamer of the decade.
I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah.
I think we won Content Creators of the Decade.
We didn't win.
No, I think we won. And no, thank you. No, thank you. I reject it. Thanks, but no thanks.
Okay. Let's move on to the Q&A.
Okay, dude. Okay.
Okay, dude.
Okay. Let's move on. All right. First up, this is from the last pod, which was
Sorry, a guy from Laval got Streamer of the Decade. It's so funny. Anyway.
This is from the title being is content ruining games. He said, "Low-key, yeah, games used to be about fun. Now it's just grind, battle passes, and overpriced skins. Too much content, not enough game."
Spitting.
That's
Actually
spitting.
Yeah.
That's kind of
like I know you feel like you see this exact.
There's only so many times you could say the same sentence.
Yeah,
but it just like
but
that's
but
what it is.
he's obviously correct. Like it's just people just I like the number of times I find myself thinking, man, this was an unsatisfying gameplay loop that not nearly as much thought went into as what will the battle pass look like? What are the skins going to be like? How quickly are we going to get a new map? How quickly are we going to get new characters? When is the fucking esports scene going to fucking come around? And when are we going to start getting fucking like 10-mans on Tarek 10-mans, pro set, whatever. Like it's just, and I get why. I get why those are all symptoms of like a larger thing that you need to keep a game alive.
Yeah.
But he's absolutely, or that person is absolutely correct. Like it's just the game, and by game we literally mean gameplay loop. The gameplay is just not as important anymore.
The Night Owl 384 said, FPS streamers killed the arena shooter. Can't even have fun anymore. Everybody just takes everything serious. It's all about winning. People just whining and complaining. Most of these FPS streamers want to turn every game into a battle royale. No. You got battle royales. Stop trying to turn everything into a battle royale.
That was Devin's alt, actually.
That
was literally just your take.
But it is interesting because like the people that are on the other side will be like they're actually like really good at rage baiting. I'll give them that because they're like, no, you're just fucking shit at games. And I'm just like, that's not what this is about. You could be good at games. It's just that like, because that's not going to stop anyone. It's not like we're asking someone to pull their punches. It's just like, that doesn't need to be the purpose. Where like, also one thing that someone poined out too with Battlefield is with like so many of these clips where they're like movement players or aim players. Like they're like 90% of the time they're fucking the team's losing. Yeah. So just like, and that's why it's just never gonna really work in Battlefield. Like it's just too large of a game for it to work.
I do think it's funny that like it's now become, like to your point, like it's become like like the argument of like where real serious sweaty e-gamers who aim train and have their fucking like wrist thing, like see me in a battle royale, dog.
Yeah.
It's like that has become the fucking Zoomer like
1v1 Rust.
Yeah, it's the 1v1 Rust of this generation is see me in a battle royale, a literally randomly generated map where you can just like spawn into a 2-minute match or a 40-minute match, just depending on like how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
Right?
I spawned in front of the best weapon in the game.
Honestly,
skill
skill issue.
Yeah.
Bro.
Skill
Yeah,
issue.
skill issue. Yeah.
Edwin Zink Nico 9190 says, depending on the content people like, Varsity Gaming, shoutouts, make R6 a game kind of better with his own type of content and analyzing the game. While some people like Shroud, I feel like they ruin the game because they literally play the game like Apex or Rainbow Six for a couple of months until they just stop playing it. Yeah, right. Like, they are, I think, apples and oranges. Shroud is proving he is a like variety gamer, right? That in itself is not a problem, right? Varsity Gaming is like an endemic R6 creator that does a lot of R6 stuff that helps prop up the game. I'm not going to get mad if Musty, who's a Rocket League creator, goes and plays other games and like has fun in those other games. That's fine. The problem with Shroud is obviously the takes he makes in those games, despite the unfamiliarity with those games and what the intended purpose is, what how the game is actually played, and then that, unfortunately, because his audience is so massive, creates this like echo chamber of yes, the game needs to follow this sort of philosophy.
I think the other issue is that like Shroud is a guy who's just good at a lot of games,
yes,
which is
that's fine.
Like I said, that there's nothing wrong with. No one's asking people to pull their punches or pair back. You can be as good as you want to. It's that like maybe games just don't need certain like qualifiers in them to, you know, skill-based matchmaking, or I mean, I feel like all games have skill, but like turned up to the nth degree where like every match is insanely sweaty. I think the other thing too is that like he has shitty takes a lot of the time.
Yes.
But so much of it is rage.
But the problem
but
is
there's no
not just that. I also
like,
think that he doesn't intend for anyone to listen to him.
I don't know, man.
But the problem is
there's
that
the
people...
fucking Dottie Sports article every fucking time he says something insane, like some insane comparison between balance CS.
But that's why it happens so much, and he says it so like, kind of like flippantly, where I'm like, I think he's just saying shit and doesn't really like think that
he's way smarter than he looks, man. I'm telling you, he's rage baiting. I'll say this, and this is just to this person's comment, which I do think is not silly, which is, I do think that at some point in the past 5 years, I can actually like kind of distinctly remember when it happened, when streamer culture became like giga insane. And Fortnite launched a lot of like streamer careers, like a lot of careers. Variety streaming, which is totally fine, obviously totally fine, but variety streaming became the meta in terms of not, I play whatever I want to play and I'm a variety streamer, right? Hey, I want to play what I want to play. It's I play whatever is cool this month, and I am actually paralyzed with fear that the thing that I am playing this week is not the coolest thing. Yeah. It, like, memes aside, the meta has become where we dropping in, like, but I mean where in what game? Yeah. Like, desperately. Whereas, like, the old meta of content creators where you had, like, and up until like 2018, 2019, like right before like the fucking Fortnite boom just went insane, you had creators who like felt that they were like indebted to a game, that they had to make, that they had to make content for a game to prop it up, and that the game would in turn prop them up, and that's how you end up with creators like Varsity, right? I think, or like, I mean, fuck, man, watching Tim the Tatman stream CS 10 years ago, right? Yeah. Like, this was like, it's fine that people are variety gamers. And I'm not saying people all like have to play games even if the games are not good or that they get sick of them. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's a reason why every game needs a battle pass. Every game needs a new map. Every game needs a new character. Every game needs a new season. Because they have to pay all these streamers to play that new season on the first day, and they all have to have the numbers be a certain amount and the skin. And then the meta just becomes, well, where's the content, though? Yeah. And I think that it is actually slowly turning content creation into, how do we all get the big streamers to play the game for more than 2 weeks? If you can get them to play it for more than 2 weeks, you've done a great job. And if Tim was playing Marvel Rivals for like months and months and months, he really enjoyed, I don't know if he's still playing, but he enjoyed the game immensely, right? And I just feel like that, to this person's point, it feels like it's embedded under a layer under, but it's not. It's like creators don't create content for games anymore. They showcase content that is being released at a like obnoxiously cyclical cycle. And I think that's the inversion.
Yeah. Well,
right?
And also the inverse, that streamers is taking that to their advantage and use that. Oh, this is the hot thing of the month. I need to get in the social algorithm. I need to rage bait.
Yes.
That's become just a
Where's
huge
ranked?
thing.
Where's ranked?
Where's
How
ranked?
come there's no ranked? Where's ranked? Oh, this gun's really OP, or this game is really shit.
That's why I'm just like especially the XQC clip where he's like, this thing needs a fucking battle pass, and I'm like, he's being so fucking unserious right now.
Of course.
Like,
Of course he is.
To be in 2025 being like, this game needs a battle pass, where I'm like, if there was, you would just buy it outright. Like, what do you mean you need it? Like, you're a millionaire. It's like whenever, like, even Valorant has like a battle pass, and watching like Tarek or what, I don't know if this is what he does, but like, let's say a big streamer, they just buy the whole thing right there as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't mean anything to them because they have dispensable income.
Yeah.
But like,
You okay? You looking a little red in the face?
no, I'm fine.
All
I'm
right.
over it.
All right. Next up, by Matsnick, says Gen Z were raised on content and streamers, so they think gaming is about grinding ranked and being competitive, using the meta, etc., etc. I don't understand why developers are not making games for us 30-year-old boomers, especially old school shooters. I'm not talking about AAA devs. I'm talking about smaller teams and indie like the market is right there.
I think they are. I think
they are,
the
yeah.
indie market is still making.
Like-
I think the issue that he's talking about is that it isn't the AAAs, even though like the people making AAA games are closer to our age than the people they're making the games for currently.
Yeah, we're the ones with
but that's
cash.
Yeah, but they're the ones with the disposable time.
Yeah.
Where like we don't have the time to play it,
Yeah.
but they do. So if we give them a free game, and then they can get their mummer dad's credit card, and they can get the battle pass, and then they'll just play that. But like these boomers, these older people, they don't have fucking time to do that.
Yeah.
It's
So-
an attention-based economy, and like there was a push for this. There was, I think, like in 2018, 2019, you saw a big resurgence in like the arena shooter.
What was the game that Too Good made? The Quake one. What was the?
Oh yeah, something battle right or something. It was a disaster. It was like epic.
Diabolical.
That was one, I think.
Diabolical.
I think
Diabolical
Diabolical
was the one
one.
that he made.
But
the
it was
clone-
in that part of the
Quake clone.
trend of like, okay, Bethesda's making Quake Champions, or it's making Quake Champions.
Yeah.
Then you had Blazinski made a arena shooter.
Yes.
You had Diabolical. You had a bunch of these arena shooters that came out for what is a very old genre. It's like one of the first genres of games, and they all kind of fell apart because unfortunately, as much as me and like a lot of people around my age or older loved those games, they weren't able to pick up that Gen Z. And I actually think maybe nowadays you might be able to a bit more, but then they would realize they're running into 30-year-olds who have been playing Quake Live for like fucking 20 years and are going to get smoked and then leave the game because it's, quote, too hard. So then they can try their Call of Duty movement in Battlefield where they can beat some 30-year-old who has, just finished a 9-to-5. So
But then they come to Counter-Strike and get fucking smoked
and then get smoked there. It's interesting how they take these really popular games that are filled with casual people or people looking to play a 9-to-5, but then they go to these really, really hard games that are filled with these 30-year-olds who are also cracked at the game.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh well, I'm just practicing my movement in this Battlefield game. Like whatever. Anyway, this one from Zwenfrosch says, can we try to stop saying like every 2 sentences? It drives me nuts and makes me not want to listen. Like, dude, come on.
Dude,
welcome
dude,
to the like English language, dude. Like,
dude, like,
come on.
dude, like.
Next up, we got True Chaos Mulala 3831 says,
All right.
Wave and Flag is just the World Cup song. Even if it isn't the official one, it was the World Cup
true.
song.
I mean, that's not a bad take. That's true.
Yes,
it's not a World
sure.
Cup song officially.
It's not a
if
World
you
Cup
want to
song
say that it
officially.
is like the best unofficial World Cup song, sure.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
My buddy Zach, he texted me right after the episode came out last week, and I will quote because we got into a fight about this. He said, bring it up. Wave and Flag is the best song. Waka Waka is overrated. You are insane. Listen here, all of you Wave and Flag people, okay? Not a World Cup song. Not a World Cup song. Someone tried saying Seven Nation Army was the best World Cup song. Not a World Cup song. Okay, well,
He's literally saying "World." The
World.
World Cup.
it's even though I think it was picked, it wasn't made specifically for the World Cups and not a World Cup song. Okay.
I mean, Kanon was just so iconic with Wave and Flag that got co-opted into like everything.
Yes, like the Haiti thing.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
that was the big thing it was used for.
Okay, last one.
I feel like Waka kind of slaps. I think
it's fun.
Prime Shakira kind of hits
Dude,
different.
like
I think Waka honestly is not overrated. I think it's a pretty.
So good, man.
I think it's kind of a, you know, it is what it is. Like it's a cheesy pop, you know, like
it's great.
obviously, but it's like for what it is, I think it's actually not that
I think it's
bad.
great.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. I love the by Jacob Franklin 5091. I love the conversation about talking about majors and losing prestige because I agree with Dimitri where it doesn't matter as long as you win. Look at League Worlds and tell me how many players not on T1 or Core JJ or Ruler are still relevant today. Crown fell off after coming to NA. Imp disappeared. So many other names. But people will know them forever because of their world skins and their names on the trophy. Yes. Yes. This is exactly the point. Even if it doesn't matter what you did, literally you could retire tomorrow like Nico Rosberg did after he won the Formula One World Championship in 2016, and people will still always remember that he won a Formula One World Championship. Like, what are we talking about here?
I truly always thought that the Navi team in 2023, who won Copenhagen, right? That they didn't run with it, Alexi and JL, that they didn't run with it nearly as much as they should have. Which is like they got so rinsed for the fluke shit. Way more than Cloud9 did. I think so. Way more than Cloud9 did. They got rinsed for the fucking fluke shit. And if I was JL or if I was Alexi with a fucking smile plastered across my face, I would have leaned into the whole point of winning the major is I never have to fucking win anything else ever again. I never have to have this conversation with you. I am immortalized. I have ascended. I have reached that upper crust that no one except the other major winners, right, can ever reach. There's an old fucking meme, an old Dota 2 meme where S4 only talks to TI winners. So there's only talks to TI winners, right? So there was like these old memes of him having to like whisper fucking like on EG, like he would whisper comms to Sumail and then Sumail would tell the rest of the team because he would not speak to somebody who was not a TI winner, right? Like this is the beautiful thing about winning a major. And I feel like if you miss that, and this is why I'm saying if I was JL or if I was Alexa, I would have had more fun with it. If you miss that, it is like, it's truly the best cope harder in esports.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's truly cope harder.
Yeah.
Like, please, it's the extremely ancient Willy Wonka meme of him saying, it is that of please tell me more about how my major means nothing or whatever the fuck, right?
It is the biggest like cope.
It's such a cope. It's an insane cope.
I remember because there was a point where we had more majors. It was when we had 3, right? And it was the first time that Fnatic, right? We had 3, before 2015.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. And it was when Fnatic like were the first ones to win 2 in a row, and people immediately after we went back to 2, it's like, oh well, Fnatic's era doesn't mean much because they just won 2 when there's 3 anymore. It's like, okay, tell that to the 2 major championships that they have.
Yes.
Please cope harder. Like this idea of trying to devalue one, it's just not good for the game. It's just not. But the idea of devaluing the world championship of your esport, because this is happening right now with EWC and COD, where just because there's more money in EWC that suddenly champs is not worth as much. It was like tell that.
It's the other thing. Like, I think it was literally the first episode of this when we were talking about like the whole like old head versus like new player. Like NBA of yesteryear wouldn't be able to hang today, or you know the Navi of then was facing against, or the Virtus Pro was facing against truck drivers and pizza deliverymen. It's just like we will literally never know.
Mm-hmm.
It is impossible because time machines don't work. So cope and seethe.
Yep.
Move on.
Cry about it.
Cry about it.
Cry is
like,
free.
Literally cry about it.
Cry is free, as the old CS terminology
Yeah,
goes.
it's like, oh, if Forrest and Get Right actually weren't that good. It's like, well, I mostly played the game because of them. So
I mean, first of all,
hope and
no
see.
one has ever said
I know,
that.
I'm just
if anyone
making
has
it
ever, yeah, no one's ever said that.
Yeah.
But it's more like the
Someone will.
major. It's more
They
what
will.
they're saying
It's
is
a matter of time.
it's,
Yeah,
it's a matter of time.
yeah.
They were playing against plumbers, you know. They were, oh, dude, they lost to Dosha.
there is this thing where like what they are saying obviously is that like the major actually more when Forrest and Get Right won it,
Yeah.
and it means less now, right? Which is not true.
No.
And it's obviously not true, and it has always meant the same amount. It's always been that, right? And because that's the beauty of the major, right? I will say, I do think that TI having like a $40 million reduction in prize
Does
pool,
hurt.
that if I was Liquid, I would actually be seething and molding for eternity, for it forever. Like I honestly, I think that was really shit.
The issue is they went too high in the first place.
What do you mean?
Like they
Oh,
made
the
too much
prize
money.
money. Oh no, I mean,
yeah.
obviously, yeah, obviously. I think they should have capped it at like a solid
Yeah.
like 20 million, which I know that sounds obscene, but
And then
that was
put a reserve if they ever don't reach it again.
yeah.
So that it's always at
Yeah.
20 million.
I do because I
Yeah.
think that TI like always needed to be a thing where if you win it, it doesn't just change your life in terms of like the prestige, but it does change your life in terms of like the money. I mean,
Generational wealth,
It's
yeah.
generational wealth. It's insane, right? Like, and I've always said that like it's like a battle royale IRL where like it's really insane as a Dota player, and Dota players can relate to this, where it's like, you know, like you're playing any esport on a stage, right? It's like the major final in CS. It's, you know, over time it's 3v3 and you have to ask yourself, do I push this smoke or do I not push this smoke?
Yeah.
Right? That's
Do you think if like if
it hurts
like
to look at.
yeah, if what is it? I don't know. Say like Nisha or whatever. You think if like No Tail and Nisha get into a fight, he's like, "How's your milli?" Oh, here's my 10.
Dude, it hurts so like it created this thing where it puts such an genuinely unreasonable amount of pressure on the 10 humans in those booths to be like imagine like you're drafting, right? And you're like, okay, like is this a good pick here? Well, I don't know. It's between this pick and this pick. I think this pick is probably really good. What do you guys think? Well, there's $26 million on the line.
Yeah.
So pick right.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, do I build BKB here first or do I get the Blink Dagger? Like, in a normal game, you're like, you just make a decision. In a game that matters, where there's like a grand final on the line,
Yeah.
whatever, you know, you like are maybe a little stressed.
Yeah.
When there's $26 million behind your decision, it's grueling. And I
Yeah.
think that for the spectators, it was the best thing in esports because even though I felt for the players, I would be lying if I said I didn't get off on watching it.
Yes.
It's
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's amazing to watch
Yeah.
the pressure that amount of money
There's,
puts on you,
I
right?
have
Like,
no doubt.
The Team Liquid.
Good.
No, I was just gonna. The Team Liquid thing is like paying your student debt, and then the year after you do, there's student debt relief. Like they cancel all
Yeah,
student
I
debt.
know, right?
Where it's like
Yeah.
you should be kind of happy because it's like obviously for the greater good, but you're like, I just fucking paid mine. Where's my money back?
Let's wrap up.
Yeah.
We're almost 2 hours in. So, with that, thank you so much. If you have any comments or concerns, definitely let them down. We'll respond to them on next week's-
Concerns.
Yeah, concerns about Waka Waka indeed being the best World Cup song. There's no argument there. For the time being, thank you so much for listening. If you want this on your favorite podcast platform, we got it set up on Apple as well. Check it out as Devin just dropped his coffee. Yeah, check it out on Spotify. Make sure to subscribe. Always appreciate it. Comment as well. It really helps out a lot. And we will be back next time. I think is next week isn't Labor Day. It's the week after.
Yeah.
It's probably so funny to Americans.
Isn't it next week? I thought it was.
Next week is Labor Day.
Yeah, it's next week.
Thank you.
probably
Okay,
so
so
funny
we're
to
filming
Americans.
on the Tuesday, so it will come out on Tuesday.
So this weekend is a long weekend.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Okay. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week. Have a good night.
Bye.